What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Patrick Cars podcast. Today is episode 2. We are so excited to be here with you today. And Aiden, we got something a little special for the audience today.
We might have cooked up something a little special today.
Kinda cooked.
Our first guest on the Patrick podcast, the one, the only, Katie Grass.
Hi, guys.
Katie Grass is here. Katie Grass is here, everyone.
Hi.
Hooray, Katie Grass.
We made it.
We made it.
Yay.
We made it.
We
Thank
made
you.
it. We've
Thank
done
you.
it.
Thank you. Alrighty. So we are going to get into a bunch of different stuff today. Super excited to have Katie on the podcast. Katie, first and foremost, what vehicle are we in? You want to tell us a little bit about this incredible, the brown interior in this car, so crazy. I've heard it's one of the most sought after versions of this car with the interior. Is that true?
Absolutely. It is. First, it came out in the Santa Fe, and everyone loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought it out in the redesign of the Palisade. So it's going to be a 2026 Palisade Hybrid Calligraphy.
I love that.
Black exterior with the pecan brown interior. It is extremely luxurious. It's
We
impeccable.
got the ventilated seats. It's nice. It's still about 95 degrees.
Do you know
in
what
the Chicago
you have?
area.
Do you know what you have on the left-hand
These
side?
are the massage seats.
Yeah, so Alex has massage seats.
Oh, maybe I should.
It must be nice.
You get back. It would be nice.
Relaxation mode as well. There's a little kickstand down underneath for, when you're just hanging out in the car.
Well, let's get into it. I got some questions for you right off the bat. We're gonna kind of go into it, and then we'll. It's our very first time we're asking people questions in the podcast.
A
Very
little
excited.
human. Yeah, not between.
Not
guys.
between.
Well, I don't know if I go as far to call
Yeah, we're
myself
not.
human.
We're not. We're not human.
Are any of us really?
So, if we could have you introduce yourself to the audience, I'm sure maybe some people out there know you, but just in your own words, kind of introduce yourself, where you've worked at in the Patrick Dealer Group, how you got started, some favorite stories. Just tell us about yourself.
My little synopsis. My name is Katie Grass. I'm the general sales manager at Patrick Hyundai right now. I have been with Patrick for over 6 years, actually.
Wow, okay.
I hit my 6-year anniversary, which is very insignificant compared to lots of people that work at the dealer group. So I'm very proud of it, but
That's good.
plenty of people will put me to shame. But that's Patrick has a lot of retention.
Yeah.
I have been, I actually started, I was a product specialist at BMW for a hot minute. No one really remembers me there. And then I came to Hyundai. So really, I would say Hyundai is where I got my start. My roots are here. The team has always been incredible. I spent a while at Hyundai. Went to Cadillac Volvo. Got to experience the team over there. That's more of where, the corporate is. That's where it used to be. They have their own
Right.
building now, of course. So
Right.
definitely a little bit of a different vibe there. Super fun. Came back to Hyundai then, and I don't even know how long. I think I've been here like 2.5 years maybe. And it's been great. I've done a little bit of everything. I've done sales. I was a finance manager. I was a desk manager. I was a product specialist at one point. So
Love it.
I've kind of worn all the hats, not service yet. Every once in a while,
we'll
I
get there.
out.
We'll get there.
I was actually in the service lane with my dad yesterday because he brought in his car to do an oil change, and he calls me. He's like, "Okay, come out there and meet me." I'm like, "Okay, fine." And so I have him pull the car in. I'm just waiting because you got to wait next to your car.
Right.
And there's a lady behind us, and we just start chit-chatting, and all of a sudden my dad knows, they have connections, and,
Right.
where she works is where my dad's girlfriend used to work, and they know similar
It's all in the
people.
family. It's all in the family.
And precisely, everyone's like, "Oh, okay, I can see
Right.
where she came from." So I spend a little bit of time in service, not doing anything meaningful, just talking, but that's kind of what I do best.
Cool. Very cool. And how long, so you said been 2.5 years-ish at Hyundai. How long have you been the general sales manager?
So I
Hyundai?
think I'm 10 months now. So
10
I'm
months.
very fresh, still a little baby, still very green, lots to learn.
Right.
But I think that kind of makes me good at my job. I'm not afraid to ask questions.
For
I
sure.
love getting more information from other people
For sure.
and learning along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I started in August, with Patrick. So we had a different GSM at Hyundai before, because I remember I'd gone over there a couple times, and all of a sudden, the next time I went over, it was you, and I was like, "Hi, who are you?" You know, like never met you before.
That? Where did you come
so
from?
and that was at the stage where I was still learning what I was even supposed to be doing in my role, so I didn't even really know a ton of people's names, and I wasn't really anybody that they're telling important information to anyway. So
you didn't get the company-wide update that got sent to everyone else.
Yeah.
No. I'll tell you, for months, no one knew that I was doing that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah. There was no. I just kind of slipped into the role.
Yeah.
Undercover, incognito, which was good. It let me kind of get my footing before. anyone
for sure.
Called me to know.
For sure. But did you always see yourself working in automotive, or did you have like other aspirations growing up and kind of? And I know you probably had an aspiration to be a singer, because you sing all the time, and you're
not even
a
in
diva.
The slightest. I didn't even try to do that. That was horrible. I never thought I saw myself in automotive. Actually, I never wanted to do a commission job. I was like, that's way too much pressure. And
I feel that.
I was going to be an engineer at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, I talk a little too much. And in my engineering classes, like I would try to talk to people and crack jokes, and and they would look at me like I had 6 heads. So when I started as an intern here actually, and I could talk to a brick wall. And they're like, well, maybe we might be able to do something with that.
Right.
And I got kind of scooped up, which I feel like is a lot of people's stories. You just kind of stumble into the automotive industry.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a bad stigma sometimes, to be honest. And people don't necessarily give it the recognition or the credit that it deserves for how much work you put in.
Right, for sure.
And it's not until you kind of get roped in and realize how wonderful it is that, you see where the opportunity was you didn't see before.
For sure. With what I want to talk about now is like women in male-dominated spaces. Mm-hmm. I know automotive is hugely male-dominated industry.
Really?
You wouldn't know by looking at it.
I didn't notice.
But so how do you approach your day-to-day work? I mean, like being a young woman in a position of power. You're a general sales manager of a Hyundai dealer, I mean, just kind of from your experience, how do you break another stigma that's surrounding the automotive industry?
To be honest, it kind of, like as a kid, I hung out with my brother and his friends, and, my family said I was raised by wolves. I was always hanging out with the boys, and coming in to the dealership and having it be all men, it wasn't really anything I recognized until later on. What I didn't like was that I kind of, like, I wanted to be in on the jokes, and everyone kind of censors themselves and is a little more reserved around me, and I didn't like that. I wanted to see 100% of every person.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people think it'll work against you. I absolutely think it works in my favor. Part of what I really like about Patrick and why I really enjoy this job is because me being in this position and being a woman always catches people off guard, which... Again, just all of a sudden the image that people have of a car dealership in their head, as soon as they walk in and they see me or I come out and, I have to ask my manager for that. They're expecting some 50-year-old guy to come over, and then the girl that said hi to them when they walked in that they probably thought was the receptionist comes over.
Yeah.
And I consistently see people's eyes bug out of their head.
Yeah.
And it is my favorite thing. It's even, if there's little girls in there, something to, not that I'm aspirational in any means, but to show like, okay, you can do any position. You can do anything you want. It doesn't matter if there's men or women in it, and use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like women in leadership positions like need to happen more often. And I feel that sometimes women are even afraid to want to be in those roles because of what you're saying. Some people don't roll with it as well as you do. So what kind of unique strengths do you think that women bring to leadership positions, or to, even automotive?
Mm-hmm. Care and empathy is always the first thing that I think of. Buying a car is an emotional experience.
100%.
And to be able to alchemize that it's kind of a chuggy thing, but to be able to take a experience that people dread, that people put so much stress into, and be able to empathize with them. And instead of just looking at numbers, yes, I care about the numbers, but more often than not, I notice the emotional state of people.
For sure.
And that's something that women are a lot more keen and intuitive with. Men totally can be too, not saying that, but there's just a different compassion and care and softer nature that lacks specifically in this business, I think. And you know, that definitely is kind of my superpower, is I can be a little softer, and when people aren't expecting that can, you know, sometimes make a car deal, make an experience better.
More often than not, like, a woman is less intimidating to me as a consumer.
Always.
And you know, no matter what the situation is, it could be I could be at Target and, you know, the checkout person is, you know, maybe I'm much more inclined to sign up for the TJX card if it's a woman checking me out. That, you know, whatever. That's just off the top of my head, because my fiance said yesterday, she's like, I went to TJ Maxx and I spent almost $300, and the person almost got me to sign up for the TJX card. It was like such a crazy experience. I was like, I don't know how. I was like, Jenna, you cannot
get another credit card.
Get the credit card. You don't need the credit card. So yeah, but in my experience, I know that, like you said, like there's a level of empathy that is almost like baseline for women in general.
It's not
innate. It's not an innate, it's
something. As soon as you said that I experience all the time, is because I'm less intimidating, people will ask questions that maybe they wouldn't ask a man. I am all about educating people. When I was in finance, I would explain exactly how a simple interest loan works, explain all the things that maybe this is the 5th car you bought, but no one has walked you through what gap coverage is, what your maintenance is, why you have to do the maintenance. This is how you can pay your loan off early. These are the things you need to say. And especially like if we get people that maybe don't understand their credit situation, there is a level of intimidation that will stop people from asking something that would make them understand better, would bring clarity to a situation. You know, when you're buying a car, I think about what is the customer's experience after that as well. Maybe they got the car they want and maybe they got the deal they want, but maybe they didn't fully understand something, and that makes buying a big car purchase even scarier.
Yeah.
I think when I can come in and not be intimidating like that and allow people to ask questions that they don't understand and feel no judgment of, absolutely, that's my job. It's what I'm here to do. I'm here to explain the entire process. I'm here to explain why we pull your credit, what your credit history looks like, what's involved in a car purchase, why do you need these things. I'm always a very inquisitive person as well, so I would ask those questions. So I think it's right for people to ask them, and I think they need to know the answers.
Absolutely.
Mike, dropping some knowledge on us.
No.
That was nuts.
It is true. Like, I bought my first car pretty recently, and I'm going in with my dad, 23 years old. I don't know what these numbers mean, X, Y, or Z, and it's intimidating to ask someone, hey, what is this going to look like in my future? What do these numbers add up to be? Because, you know, I work hard for my money. I want to make sure it's going towards something that lasts me a good
100%.
while, and I'm getting the best deal. And I think being vulnerable with them and asking for these numbers instead of having it being explained to you kind of switches where like the power's coming from in this purchase. And it made me feel a lot more comfortable when purchasing a car to have someone explain the numbers to me and take it slow for me. And I think that is a superpower in itself.
You know, I try. It makes a big difference. Again, people should be able to understand everything. And for us, it's so common knowledge, and we do it every day. Tax savings is something all the time that people ask questions on. They don't understand. Well, what with the tax credits, with the tax savings?
Yeah.
And they don't understand. I'm like, oh, well, in the state of Illinois, whatever the value of your car is, you can deduct it from the sale price and you only pay tax on the difference. That took me 2 seconds to explain, but so many people don't understand it or don't feel like they have the ability to ask.
Yeah, I mean, that would have taken me like 30 Google searches and like 14 Reddit forums to get half
to
an
figure
idea.
out. Yeah.
ChatGPT to tell you the wrong information on it.
Right.
And when you can just, if you're in a comfortable place in a dealership that makes you feel comfortable, ask those questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So my next question is like, how do you manage? And what I mean by that is...
I don't. I don't
actually
manage. I struggle every day.
Okay. good to know it's not just me.
Really.
But I mean, like, you're a young manager. How do you manage an oftentimes much older team? Like, how do you, coaching and feedback, just general tips, how do you convey your knowledge being sometimes twice as young as one of your team members?
I think it's more about leading people. I think the leading part is important. And to do that, you have to understand people on a different level. And as you progress up the levels of leadership, there's people then that want to follow you. My ultimate goal is to be a manager that changes people for the better. And I'm still developing that. I can't necessarily give you an answer because I don't know, but I'm trying to learn myself how to lead by example. I think that's a big thing. But letting people fall and make their own mistakes, and something that I've been trying to actively do a lot more now is coaching people through it. So asking questions. Oh, what did that customer say? Why do you think they said that? And I try to work on leading people down the road to get to the answer I want, because that's far more effective than just telling them, you should have said X, Y, and Z. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Well, why did you do that? Do you think that worked out well?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe there's a different way you could have approached it? If you could do it over again, how would you do it?
How would you do it? Yeah.
Those coaching questions, and I think that's a lot of what I'm trying to lead into now is being a coach. I try to have open and honest conversations with people, and I try to inspire. I think that's something that I've always kind of known to do. Those were the leaders that I looked up to, the ones that inspired and empowered you to do something. So how can I empower my sales guys into understanding you are great if you're doing everything the correct way and the way that we train? You have the ability to ask for more, ask the right questions, ask for the business, simple things like that, of giving them the confidence so they have the power to sell the car. I can sit there and I can help them sell the car all day, but that's not being an effective leader. How do I show you guys how to be a leader yourself? How do I show you how to make the car deals yourself? How do I show you how to think more about, okay, it's not just about this one deal. Why do we need good follow-up? That's been my recent hill to die on, is why does it matter once a customer leaves? Because it's the experience of Patrick, and it's the experience of you. You just spent all of this time showing the customer the ropes, walking them through the purchase. The dealership spent a lot of money just getting those people in. Now, how do you make sure then that you become their car person? By following up, by making sure they're walking them through things. If there's an issue, you go and handle it with them. It's an opportunity to have a conversation. It's an opportunity to ask for a referral. It's an opportunity to get more information on the car. I love when people come back and I can ask them, what's your experience so far? What did you not understand? What are you loving? What did you not expect about the car? Little things like that.
Yeah. And I like you kind of said that you don't really have an answer, but what you kind of said was that, like, you're always a work in progress. And I think that is a perfect answer to the question.
The not answer, that's an answer.
Well, right, but I mean, like, if you're not always trying to be better than you were yesterday, I think that you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think you said it in way more words than that, but but I think that's the general gist of what you were trying to say.
That's the general gist of me, that I say things in way too many words.
I know I've seen that when I've been at the dealership working with you, and I know I've heard it from your staff as well, that you are absolutely incredible. So I got to commend you for that as well. I know.
Thank you. I don't that we can skip the compliments. It's okay. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I get paid to do.
Yeah, for sure. In the car industry, I've seen sort of a shift to a younger generation of not just clientele, but the people working at the dealerships. How important, I guess maybe in slightly less words than the last one.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Yeah, how important is it for car buyers and the people working in the dealerships in general as it relates to youth?
I have some veterans that I could not live without, but at the same time, bringing in that younger crowd and showing them, hey, these are the guys that are excelling. These are the guys that have made this their business. It's a self-sustaining business. That's all that selling cars is. You're running your own business, your own operation. Hanley Dawson pays for the lights and the inventory and all of our infrastructure, but you are running this own business, and it's entrepreneurship. A lot of people think they want that. and they don't necessarily understand it. Bringing in the younger generation, especially the ones that want to work, want to grow. I just did an interview with a kid who's, I say kid, again, not a kid, but younger than a lot of my current client advisors. And I was excited to see the fresh face, to see the perspective. And bringing in that younger generation means they understand how other people are buying cars. They understand what they would want someone to sell them and how they would want someone to sell them. So it's easier for them to make connections.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you look for when you're hiring somebody then? I guess maybe a two-part question. What makes a good salesperson today, and also what do you look for when you're hiring
Empathy.
a salesperson? Empathy.
I look for empathy. I want someone who's driven. And honestly, the biggest thing that is very hard to train that I look for is customer service.
Yeah, I get that.
Biggest
Customer service is not. It's almost like in sports, you can't teach speed.
Yep.
You can't teach someone to be faster.
Correct.
When they're running. You can't teach someone more empathy.
Absolutely.
It's a hard. It's not even really a skill. It's it's part of you.
Yes.
People are born with it, and maybe it's part of being raised, but.
I think
I think
people kind of look at salespeople too the wrong way. Because they look at buying a car the wrong way. How do I make it as easy as possible to understand the purchase? How do I make it less daunting? And how do I make it fun?
I love that. That's very cool.
Long-winded.
Long-winded, but that's okay. So we're going to kind of segue into more about Hyundai, the brand. Hyundai.
Oh, I got it for you. It's Hyundai like Sunday. My rep always says it. Hyundai like Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, good to know. I said it wrong a couple times.
We all notoriously, actually, at PDG, we've always said it wrong. And my rep, my bank rep, will always come in for HMF and correct me on it. She's like, it's Hyundai. And everyone here says Hyundai. So it's okay. We'll forgive
That's
you.
That's okay. So why do you think Hyundai has been a brand that's grown a lot over the last decade? What have you seen that's sort of attributed to that?
I think price point, technology, warranty. Those are the typical answers. Those are the ones I have to talk on first, because you have a 10-year powertrain warranty, which gives you peace of mind. With all of the tech and how expensive these are nowadays, people want to keep their cars longer, or they have to.
Yeah, for sure.
This is, I've worked at some of our luxury stores, and I've worked at Hyundai. Having that peace of mind is essential. Having the 5-year, 60,000 mile coverage on the tech, having the ability to protect your entire car for 10 years is
10 years.
Insane.
That's crazy.
10 years. Again, Hyundai does a great job of giving you that protection, giving you the peace of mind. I mean, my biggest thing is always to conquest people from other brands. So take people from Honda, take people from Toyota. And a lot of times it comes from having a bad experience at another dealership. When my car was 4 years old, 5 years old, this went off and they wouldn't fix it. I'm like, fantastic, you say that. You are going to have 10 years of your powertrain covered. So if something does happen, as long as you're doing your maintenance at the right time and you've done everything that's required of the vehicle, if you take care of the car, Hyundai's going to take care of you.
Yeah, and that's really good too. Yeah, I mean, I had my first car I bought was actually a 2016 Elantra that I bought from Patrick, and it got stolen a couple years ago.
It's okay, the Kia boys.
But that's a different story for a different day. But I love that car, and I had a great experience. And I don't think that the salesperson that I had, because I was 18, 2016. I don't think he still works there, but even so, my dad worked for. I don't remember what program exactly it was, but it was for Patrick Hyundai with Brad, and they were going to auction and buying cars, and they send like 2 porters with, and then to go back. So my dad was part of that team. So that's kind of how I got involved and sort of learned about Patrick, because my dad sort of worked here, and it was like every couple times a week he'd be like, hey, there's an 8-hour day, there's a 5-hour day, drive to Indianapolis and back, drive to Springfield, drive to St. Louis and
wholesale,
back. But all my family has owned, my dad's owned a couple different Hyundais too from Patrick, and we've all loved them.
I think my dad's on his 3rd whenever we have family parties, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I'll go and pull up like some of my family's cars. Like, oh, when they're leaving, I'm like, okay, let me grab the keys.
Let me grab it.
And I love walking down my dad's like driveway with all the neighbors parked, and I just see Hyundai, all with Patrick plates on it. I'm like, thank
Hyundai.
you.
It's the
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Just like Sunday.
Hyundai, just like Sunday, like a little ice cream sundae. It's. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
We'll cut that.
What? No, we don't have to cut it. We don't have to cut it. What model would you say surprises customers the most? I'm gonna guess it's the Santa Fe.
Yes.
It's because of the redesign the last couple
the
of years.
redesign, if you ever need to move a couch or move a refrigerator, fits in the back of a Santa Fe. Fun fact.
Does it really?
Yes, I'm not even kidding. That's what my
Huh.
reps will say. But it's boxy, so you can fit a refrigerator. I'm like, how did you know I was moving a refrigerator every weekend? How for all of my refrigerator needs?
Yeah.
Actually, can I say I know exactly which one? The Sonata.
Oh.
Really?
This Sonata is such a slept-on car. The Elantra is great for first-time buyers. Wonderful. It's small. It's compact. The Sonata, completely slept on. Beautiful design. Drives incredibly well. The hybrids are fantastic. It's offered in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, which so many larger sedans like that are not offered in all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
People are kind of going back to the sedan thing now.
Yeah.
And every time people get in, they're like, oh my gosh, it's got more room. It doesn't necessarily feel like
Yeah.
a sedan. We have so many options in there. The Sonata Hybrid Limited has the same equipment, the same features except for HomeLink. Literally, that's the only thing it's missing from the Tucson Hybrid Limited,
Okay.
which is $5,000 more. It's people are consistently surprised, and it's one that I see on the road that I'm like, that's a nice looking. Oh, I sell that.
Yeah.
I sell that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really because they got a redesign in 23, right? The
Yes.
Sonata and the Elantra.
Yes.
They look nice. They're really the front fascia where it's got like the visor, the
and
line on it.
the light bar that
Yeah,
goes
the light bar.
around.
It's really sleek.
The back of the car, I love too. I love that Hyundai started to do, they write out Sonata on the back. It just
Yeah.
looks
Oh, yeah.
super sleek. There's the N line, which I think is extremely.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yep.
I think those
Oh,
are
yes.
fantastic in that blue colorway too.
The carbon
It's
blue,
iconic.
yes, it's amazing. And the Limited has a brown interior as well now. That's new for this year. The Limited Hybrid, because it only comes in a hybrid, but it's got a beautiful camel interior that
That's
people
cool.
are obsessing over. We don't get too many of them in, so next time one comes in, I will make sure to get you guys here to take some pictures for it.
For sure.
Let the world know.
For sure. The last thing I want to talk about with Hyundai
Hyundai.
is going to be Hyundai Hope on Wheels.
Yes.
And Hyundai Hope on Wheels is a really incredible thing that Hyundai does about children's cancer and pediatric cancer and things like that. So
Funding pediatric cancer
yeah,
and
so
helping families out. Yes, I'm
fundraising
sorry, I
efforts
have
like
to
that.
jump in because I do love it.
of course, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, it's really wonderful to work with a brand that does so much outreach. I think that's just another thing that makes Hyundai, again, a great brand, is that they have a wide reach. They have so many different cars. We're a volume franchise, so it's all about selling those cars. For every car, a portion of that purchase gets donated to Hyundai's Hope on Wheels. So it's meant to help families and children dealing with pediatric cancer,
Right.
which is something that's very special to Patrick in general. Our owner has a similar, not the same thing as Hope on Wheels, but has a foundation called the Think Foundation that he donates to every year. He's actually started the foundation, has a event every other year, and it's all about, once again, funding cancer. Specifically, that's thyroid and neck cancer.
And now to interrupt this podcast for a little bit of information about the Thank Foundation. The Thank Foundation is dedicated to supporting patients and families affected by thyroid, head, and neck cancer by providing trusted information, resources, and funding for better treatments and outcomes. This cause is especially meaningful to our organization as it has personally impacted someone within our Patrick family. Beginning the week of June 15th, 2026 through October 31st, 2026, Patrick Dealer Group employees, customers, and community members will come together to raise funds and awareness for the Thank Foundation through dealership fundraising initiatives, community events, and charitable campaigns throughout the Chicago and Schaumburg areas. These efforts include dealership donation drives, community awareness programs, employee fundraising activities, and our annual employee softball tournament. Every donation helps support research, education, and resources for patients and families affected by thyroid, head, and neck cancer. To learn more about the Thank Foundation, scan the QR code above.
Hyundai has realized the same exact thing, that finding resources, understanding the process when you're already dealing with something so heavy. Your child just got diagnosed with cancer. Your world is spinning. Where do you find the information? Where do you find the guidance? Where do you find the money? It's as simple as that. It is so taxing and overwhelming. So to have those resources, right now they have a program going on where they're donating, the hospital gowns to different hospitals, and they're all superhero.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it's, again, to empower these kids.
Yeah.
There's so many just fun different things. I know there's a blood drive that they're doing in September that I really want to do something with Patrick like that as well, and do a little blood drive, get our local warriors involved, first responders, all these different people that go out of their way to help, and honor them a little bit, while also, again, helping children with cancer, families. I mean, just in general, blood drives are fantastic. Always a good thing to donate. I'm sorry, I'm rambling once again.
No, it's all good. I appreciate you sharing that, because that's a lot of great information. So we do have more information on Hyundai Hope on Wheels and the Thank Foundation. That'll be in the description, so feel free to look at that. Real quick, a couple other questions I want to ask you. They're going to be car buying tips. What do you think customers should research before they come walking into your dealership?
I don't even think it's what they should research. I think you need to look at the car you have right now. It's the first thing I always ask is, what do you like about your car right now and what don't you like? I look at my mom, who always drove sedans. Her trunk was always full of crap, filled to the brim. She went to buy an undisclosed name car, and they put her into a smaller SUV or a smaller sedan, even from what she was in before. She was in the bigger, kind of like the Sonata. Imagine your mom going from a Sonata into an Elantra. I know exactly what the salesperson was doing. They were trying to fit her budget, but they didn't ask her what was important. One of the biggest things is, I never have enough room in my trunk. Wow, maybe we look at an SUV.
It's got a bigger trunk, yeah.
So first thing, look at the car that you're driving, what supports your needs and what doesn't. And then, I think you look at how long you're going to have the car and what's important to you, what features.
Having some technical difficulties, so we moved the cameras around just a little bit. Hope that's okay. So we were kind of talking about ways that buyers can maybe feel more comfortable before they come into your dealership.
Yes.
We're gonna ask a couple more questions, and then we're gonna get into some games, because we got just a little bit of time left here. So how can shoppers avoid feeling overwhelmed? Because I know there is, like we talked about previously, like there's a stigma around the dealership, and is it just a matter of us telling people and trying to get the word out that dealerships are different now, or at least we're different?
Yes.
And we are the younger kind of coming to the forefront.
The younger generation coming up, I think part of it does rely, part of the onus is on dealerships that are doing things in a different way.
Right.
To put the word out there. That's what you guys are trying to do, I know.
Yeah.
I think research is important, but I have to say that with a grain of salt, because there's so much information out there on dealerships. Reviews are kind of a tricky place sometimes, because it is an incredibly emotional experience buying a car. I think it's doing your research on the brand and doing your research on where you're buying from. I think a lot of it is finding the right person. To be honest, this is where it goes back to referrals. I think the best thing is word of mouth. Talk to people around you. Do you know how many times people are like, yeah, I pulled over and I asked someone, in the parking lot where they got their car from. I genuinely think that is more reputable than doing a bunch of research online. I think it gets overstimulating just with the options online.
Yeah.
Hard
for sure.
for a lot of people to go out there and talk, ask people questions. But hey, if someone walked up to me and, oh my God, I really like your car. Where'd you get it from? Do you have any recommendations? Where did you go? I know people sometimes will say, oh, well, I didn't buy the car here from you guys, but I had a really great experience. I'm going to tell all my friends to go see you. I think word of mouth is so important, and finding other people that have a good experience and just go there.
Yeah, for sure. So when do you think people should lease or buy? Like,
All the time, lease.
You think all the time lease?
Okay.
I know it really depends. And I've been talking to some people recently because I did a video at Genesis a couple days ago with Josh and Kazar over there, and we talked about finance and sales and breaking down misconceptions about the car dealerships and car sales in general. So when do you think people should lease versus buy?
I think, if you're someone who wants to be in and out of a car all the time, absolutely lease. It's 3 years. If you don't want to deal with maintenance on your car, lease. Some people have a lifestyle truly that hey, I just want one car and I want it for 10 years. Absolutely buy the car then. I think that with how quick technology is changing, how quick consumers' preferences are changing, especially if you're trying a new brand, especially if you're trying something else that, if you're going from an SUV to a sedan, lease it.
Yeah.
Leasing not only is a way to keep your payments low, but it's an alternate way of financing because as the market goes up and down, when you're leasing, you have a set payment for 3 years. You know exactly how much that car is going to be worth at the end. At the end of the lease, if you loved that car, you can purchase it and you know exactly what the price is. You know exactly the first owner on it. It's like buying a used car with far more security. Some people again think, you're losing money, you're wasting money. Well, a car is not an investment. I hate to break it to everyone. It is a depreciating asset, but it is necessary, as is all technology. People compare it to buying a home, but again, I know you just bought a home, but the rest of us, a little more difficult. Some things can be out of reach. And unfortunately, a car, just like a home over your head, is a necessity. What's going to make the most financial sense to you? Buying a car and having to be in it, having all this money sunk into it, and then having to pay for maintenance and all these other things after the fact. I don't know. I'm a leaser. As soon as I got into the car business, I started leasing. I love it. I love that I don't have to deal with, after 3 years, do I need brakes? Do I need rotas? Not my issue. Turn it in, move on.
The last question I'm going to ask you before we get into some games, what's one question that every customer should ask before making their final decision?
Ooh.
Deep.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
Introspective.
I have to really put in thought into that one, because the first thing I think of is, you want to know more about the dealership that you're buying from. To be honest, that's exactly where I go to. How long are you guys going to be here for? There's lots of dealerships that are conjoined together. One's shutting down. I think something beautiful about Patrick is our history, that we've been around for so long. We've been in Schaumburg for a very long time. So I think asking a little bit about the history of where you're buying from, do the salespeople know that? Are the client advisors aware? There's the normal stuff. What's my maintenance? What is required?
Yeah.
Very important stuff as well. I think I would have to say, because it differs so much, but what's the history? Where am I buying from? Tell me a little bit more information.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, that wraps up the Get to Know You Women's Empowerment and Car Buying Tips here on the Patrick Podcast. I'm going to let Aiden take it away, because Aiden's been sitting.
Oh, I've been
in the
so
back
patient
seat,
back
so
here.
Patient.
I've been so patient. Now, if you guys know me, you know I love cars, old and new, and especially the Hyundai brand has some great ones throughout their history. So I put together a list of cars, and you got to tell me the year they debuted.
Is this for both of us or for just Katie?
Oh, this is just a Katie game.
Oh, just a Katie? Okay.
Well, actually, no, you can get in because
he
doesn't know the years.
I don't know if I know the years.
Oh, God.
He doesn't know the years. So here's what we're going to do today. We have 6 cars on our list today. I'm going to show you each a picture, and whoever guesses closest to that year gets a point.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever's closer.
Okay. All right. So we're going to come in with our first car. We'll pop it up on the screen for you guys. This is an Elantra, believe it or not.
Oh, I'm going to say 82.
82?
I'm going to say 1990.
That first point is going to Alex.
Oh, let's go!
The exact year was 1990.
Was it really 1990?
When the model launched. It's a cool little boxy car.
I was gonna say, I
But-
should have known in the 90s by the style.
There's another one. Now listen, we can go a little newer too. We can go a little newer here.
All right.
What vehicle is this and when did it debut?
Ionic
That's an Ionic
5.
5. Okay.
Okay, let's see
Okay.
your guess first.
My guess is going to be 2018 is my guess.
Ooh, I'm thinking 2023.
It is 2022, but that point
Oh,
does go to
close.
Katie.
Close. Thank you, thank you.
Oh my goodness, now-
2018 really is.
This third car here is one of my favorites that Hyundai ever released, specifically the N version.
I know exactly what
But-
car it is. You don't have to show me. I know what it is.
We're gonna go here with
the Veloster. Ooh.
That one, if you want to go ahead, you can guess.
2017?
I'm going to guess 2011.
Ooh, it's a nail biter. The Veloster debuted 2012.
2012, let's go!
This
My
is,
point.
you know these answers. There's no way this is rigged. This is absolutely rigged. I'm telling you. This is rigged.
Okay,
I played the fifth.
I'm thinking about trade-ins, okay? I'm thinking about what are these cars when I've taken them in on trade. All right, all right.
now this one's funky. This is cool. Little two-door action.
Two-door action.
It's older. It's gonna be the Tiburon.
Oh, the Tiburon?
Oh.
It's like a 2000s.
Definitely somewhere in the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm going to say 07.
02.
I'm going to go 04.
1997.
What? Yo!
Yeah.
Okay, so I won.
Not
Classic.
I won.
That point's going
Okay.
to Katie here today.
So what is it, tied 2-2?
It is tied
Oh my
right
God.
here down
What are
the
you talking
middle.
about? The answers are rigged. It's tied.
Okay, fine, fine.
All right, now this is an odd one. Earlier again, this is
Is that the original Santa Fe?
Santa Fe?
This is, I want to say it's
Tucson?
the Veracruz.
Oh, that
the
was
Veracruz.
Sleeper.
Okay, I know.
The Veracruz is only around for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what year do we got on this?
Oh.
Debuted when?
I'll go 89. 1989.
Okay, well, I got a wide berth.
Yeah,
there.
it
Jeez,
is.
okay, I'm going to go 05.
2007.
I almost said 07.
Oh my
I almost-
goodness,
I
89.
I knew, because it was the precursor, I'm pretty sure, to the Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Context clues went out the window.
okay,
at
it's
this-
fine,
at
it's
that
fine.
one.
I mean, you got, the Elantra got me. I said 82, so.
All right, we're down to one last vehicle here.
It was wedding.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It's gonna
So
pop up
that's-
on the screen.
This is the Santa Fe now?
This
The
is
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe. So if context clues, Alex,
Uh-huh.
if the Veracruz debuted in 07, when did the Santa Fe debut if it was like the precursor to it?
2011.
I'm gonna go 2013.
Santa Fe is an old car, guys.
So I won. What is it? What is it?
It's 2001.
2001, then what would we talk about the Veracruz?
First generation Hyundai Veracruz was a mid-size 3-row crossover SUV. So it was the precursor to the larger Santa Fe.
Yeah.
The Santa Fe was
like
smaller.
a smaller.
Yes.
I like the bubbly kind of front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so Katie won.
It's deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's fine. So what's next, Aiden? What other games are we playing? There's wildfires going on in Canada right now, and
It's hazy, it's smoky.
there's so much like smog and stuff in the air right now. So this would be the perfect opportunity to go on a summer road trip.
Yes.
Get out of the Midwest.
Yes.
Go somewhere. So the Palisade hybrid. We're in a hybrid calligraphy.
Yes.
Palisade
Yes, sir.
hybrid calligraphy.
Okay.
The model that we're in right now. Where are you taking that on a summer road trip?
Ooh,
Bring whoever you want. Who are you taking?
So I would definitely, so I got two groups. I would either take my dad, because I love traveling with the man. He's very outdoorsy. Or I would take like a group of my friends. We love road tripping. We love doing like trips like that. It's been a little bit since the college days that we've done road trips, but we used to do them all the time. Where would I go? Because honestly, I love Arizona, but right now it would be absolutely despicably
Like 110
hot.
degrees in the shade.
Gruesome.
Terrible.
Terrible.
So I think I'm definitely going west. So I'm thinking like Colorado.
Ooh.
Or maybe like Montana or Wyoming, because it's usually a lot more temperate there. Right now, it's going to be super hot here. Go out there, hit up the mountains. It's not freezing cold yet. And you get to drive through all the mountains. Yeah, I'm thinking out west. I'm honestly, even next Colorado, you can go to Colorado anytime. I think Montana.
Okay.
Dig it. I feel like this interior screams Montana, too.
Right?
This is
Very
giving kind of cowboy country vibes.
Cowboy country
All right,
vibes.
it's
I
not,
like
it's,
it.
But
it's
keep
more
it
like,
chic.
like a cattle rancher.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
That's more like what it is. I
Yes.
watched The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher. Okay, I watched it.
Okay.
Little
I'm more
Sam
of a
Elliott.
Yellowstone girl myself.
Oh,
okay.
but
Fair
it's
enough.
Fine. They're all driving
Fair
pickup
enough.
trucks, so we'll
Right,
stay in this.
right,
We'll stay in this.
Right. Cool. We're gonna play Guess That Girl Boss now.
Okay.
Honey. So now we're going to be playing Guess That Girl Boss. I've compiled a list of a handful of influential women throughout history. I thought this was a perfect, I guess, sort of game to play with
Yeah.
you, being a girl boss yourself. I know the term girl boss is a little overused. First one I'm going to do is, this will be an easy one to get you started off. Hedy Lamarr. Who is Hedy Lamarr?
I love Hedy Lamarr. She was the creator of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I actually listened to a whole podcast about her. Amazing. She discovered frequency hopping, right?
Yes.
Frequency hopping, channel
Correct.
hopping. It was something to do, I know, with like missiles, being able to jam missiles. They had to figure
Enemy
out
radar. Yeah.
enemy radar. Yes, how to go under enemy radar with the missiles. And she realized, and she found it from music. Because there was something to do. She was a Hollywood actress. There was something to do with like the music experience she had, and she had realized switching frequencies would be able to disguise the one singular place that it was coming from.
Yeah.
That one I know.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Next one, Mary Anderson.
Mary Anderson. Oh, Anderson.
I'll give you a hint.
Yep.
It
yeah,
has,
give me a hint.
because the last one wasn't something that was inherently automotive related. It just so happened that automotive now uses Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in their cars.
Yes.
So this one is more so directly related to automotive.
Ooh, why do I feel like it's marketing related? Is
Nope.
it? Nope.
It is not marketing related.
Okay.
She ain't even looking.
Anderson. Like that gives me no speedometer.
Nope. It's windshield wiper.
Oh my goodness!
Really?
Yes.
Wait, really?
She invented the windshield wiper in 1903, and before her invention, drivers had to stop and wipe rain or snow off of the glass by hand.
Okay. I get it now. Ooh.
All right, next up, we have Florence Lawrence. I'll give you another hint.
Yep,
She's
give me-
a silent film star.
What kind of hint is that? What does that have to do?
Oh yeah, you know.
A silent. Okay, so what? It was in the 1890s. When were we doing silent films?
That's crazy.
What?
So,
Can I get another hint without giving away, or just give it away to me? Just give it away. Give it away.
so
now.
she invented the first turn signals and brake lights in 1914.
Yeah, but she was also a silent film.
She was a silent film star.
Again, that had literally no help in guiding me. Fine. Okay.
Number 4.
Yes.
Number 4. Let's go. Bertha Benz.
Oh,
Bertha Benz.
Benz. Big Bertha.
Big Bertha Benz.
Now,
What did she do?
put some respect on her
Put
name.
some respect on Big
Okay,
Bertha.
that definitely has to do with Mercedes-Benz, clearly.
Correct.
Yay. Half point, full point? What did she do?
Well, she took the world's first long-distance road trip in 1888 to prove to the world that cars were reliable and changed how people traveled from horse-drawn carriage.
Okay.
Right?
Do you know the distance?
I do not. But
It was a long one.
It was a long one.
But it was the first long distance one. She was married to Carl Benz,
Okay.
who was the originator of the first automobile patents, which then partnered with Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft,
Bless
which then
Gesundheit.
which then turned into Mercedes-Benz.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, I kind of got there.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of got there.
The final one, Dorothy Levitt. I feel like we should have gone the other way around. I should have given the invention, and you maybe should have guessed their name. I think,
But
maybe that would
I'm
have been a better
terrible with
one.
names anyway, so I could have been pulling out Big Bertha. I would have never got.
Big Bertha. The invention was in 1909. Again,
Okay.
a lot of these are all. I mean,
Cars starting in
started automotive.
Well, it's definitely not GPS.
no,
I'll
it's
say
not
that.
GPS. Has something to do with a physical. It's not a device, but it's a physical thing
In a car?
In a car.
Not the steering wheel, because that was
Nope.
there when it started.
Nope.
Ooh, what would have been added?
5,
Not air conditioning.
3,
Reflect on this a little bit.
2.
Rear view mirror?
There you go.
Wait, actually?
Yes.
Aiden didn't say anything. I got that.
Can you reflect on this a little bit? My dear Watson.
I got it. Again, feeling
Very
very feminine,
good.
very
So
useful.
we'll chalk it up as a win.
Yay,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
playing the game. Closing thoughts here, Katie. We're gonna wrap up here. What to anyone watching? What do you want people to take away from our conversation today?
Dealerships are not a scary place. There's a lot of us out there that really just want to help you find your next car. Make the process easier. You can have fun buying a car. That's the biggest thing.
100%.
I want everyone to have fun. It is the biggest purchase most people will ever make in their lives. If they're lucky enough to buy a home, guess what? That'll be the biggest one. But other than that, it should be an enjoyable process. It should be a joyful experience, and you shouldn't dread it. Don't dread come seeing us. And look forward to coming to buy your next Hyundai with me, please.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to say that I think you're an incredible leader, and I know you're not done yet, so I know there's still lots to come.
Yes.
But thank you so much for sitting down with us today. This was an incredible conversation. I thought we had a really awesome opportunity to sit down and chat. I think it went awesome. So props to you. Thank you so much for doing that. But make sure to stop by Patrick Hyundai in Schaumburg. Patrick Hyundai like Sunday.
Hyundai like Sunday.
Patrick Hyundai in Schaumburg. Come see Katie. Come see her sales team. Go, PatrickHyundai.com for all your sales parts service needs. And thank you guys so much for watching the Patrick Cars podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Aiden.
And we are
The Patrick Boys.
Make sure to visit PatrickCars.com for all your sales parts service needs. Anything that you need, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we will catch you guys next time. Have a great day.